Realm, one of the most successful GameFi games, has recently released some really interesting updates, including a new V3 battle engine and a fully on-chain V1 crafting system. And while it is surely exciting, it's really easy to get lost in all the newness if you don't take the time and go through the updates and understand what they all mean for you and your gameplay. That's what this video is about. So let's get into it. To start with, the new V3 battle engine introduces some pretty big changes. One of them is renown, which is basically your reputation in the Realmverse. To increase your own renown, you have to defeat your opponents and steal their renown. And this is something that you want to do, not just because it gives you more, well, renown, but also because you can redeem your renown for anima via an activity called manifest. We'll talk about that later. You have to be strategic when picking your opponents though. People with higher renown might be more attractive, but you have to consider that they got that kind of renown by defeating other people. On the flip side, risking your renown for an opponent that doesn't have that many might not be worth it. So choose your battles wisely. That said, you can only pick on someone your size. You can't attack someone with more than 2 times or less than 50% of your own renown. Something else that you need to consider is that you can lose renown even from passive battles, that is, if you lose a fight that you didn't even start. So make sure to always be on the alert. The new V3 battle engine also introduces something called battle power. As you must have guessed, battle power determines your power in battle. Coincidence. And it is a combination of your adventure skills, traits, transcendence level, and equipment peripherals. Battle power is also something that you want to consider when you choose your opponents. Basically, just calculate your risk to reward before you decide. Speaking of battles, winning one is now more than just having certain skill traits. You would now need to craft and equip peripherals that are best suited to your attributes. On top of that, the battle power boost that you get from a peripheral would depend on your trait scores and your transcendence level. Adventurers of any level can craft and equip any rarity peripheral, but you would have to be of a certain transcendence level to harness its full battle power. For instance, while a level 1 adventurer can harness 100% of a common peripheral, they can only harness about 57% of a rare peripheral, and less than 20% of a legendary one. To harness 100% of a rare peripheral, you would need to be a level 6 adventurer, and you would need to be a level 16 to harness 100% of a legendary. By the way, you should know that peripherals break. The rarer they are, the more durable they are. So while common peripherals will break after 5 battles, legendary peripherals will break after 30. But there's no need to worry because peripherals breaking is not a completely bad thing. You get shards of your peripherals when they break, and those shards are needed to craft peripherals of a higher rarity. Now, we've been talking about crafting peripherals, but what exactly is this crafting about? Well, one of the first things you need to know is that whatever you craft will be soul-bound to you as the adventurer. So you have to be careful and strategic about what you craft. You can craft whenever and as often as you want, but bear in mind, it'll cost you anima, crafting materials, and some shards. Well, your first crafting would not require shards, seeing as you need peripherals to get the shards. There are Genesis recipes to help you craft when you first start out. Crafting will now take place in labs, which are also a new feature. We'll get to explaining that soon. But for now, you should know that because crafting is supposed to be something that you can do anytime, you can craft in the void, where there are no labs available. Crafting in the void would cost you a lot more though. But as was mentioned earlier, you need more than just skills to win battles. Crafting and equipping peripherals is also very important, so you might need to spare the expense every once in a while. You can craft at any transcendence level, of course, but those are the common peripherals. You have to be a level 6 to craft a rare, a level 11 to craft an epic, and a level 15 to craft a legendary peripheral. As for how much anima you need, crafting a common peripheral would cost you 0.5 anima per transcendence level. A rare would cost you 1 anima per transcendence level, and an epic would cost you 2 anima per transcendence level, while a legendary would cost you 4 anima per transcendence level. You already know that you get anima through battles. Well, to be clearer, you earn renown from winning battles and your renown can be converted to anima. The other things that you need for crafting are crafting materials and shards. Crafting materials you get from loot boxes, which you earn from various activities like battles. And shards you get from peripherals that break during battles. You could also just purchase any or all three on the secondary market. Now, let's talk about manifest. As was mentioned earlier, manifest is the activity where you convert your renown and also focus into anima. But don't forget that manifest would cost you both renown and focus points. So make sure to build up your points after every manifest activity. Your focus points are particularly important in manifest because you get more anima in exchange for your focus and renown if you have a high focus score. So consider redeeming your points only when your focus points are high. Speaking of focus points, you gain focus from your battles. While you get renown for winning your battles, you get focus for just participating in battles. You get anywhere from 1 to 10 focus for each battle that you participate in. 10 focus points is what you get for each of the first 30 battles after your Transcendence. But as your adventurer's memories of the void fade, the number of focus points you earn go down to 1 focus point per battle over time. The new realm update also comes with a new Transcendence path. You now get dynamic costs and cooldown times that increase with progression. This is supposed to make it easier for the new players to ease into the Realmverse. You can now also earn training points via Transcendence. As you would expect, the amount of cooldown days and training points you get per Transcendence would increase the higher your level. The V3 battle engine is not the only aspect of Realm that has been updated though. Realms, which serve as the foundational economic layer of the Realmverse, also have just experienced some upgrades. One of such updates is productivity. As a Realmer, you now get to boost your productivity score by attracting activity to take place on your realm. And you want to increase your productivity score because higher productivity score allows for increased anima staking on your realm. As was just mentioned, you increase your productivity score by allowing people to carry out activities on your realm. Some of the activities that they can carry out include crafting, and in the future updates, you'll be able to receive productivity points when other realmers pay homage in your realm. Now let's talk about labs, which, as you might remember, is where you craft peripherals. You get to build your labs as they both automatically stake and are soulbound to the realm once they are built. As a realmer, you would need to monitor the crafting market so that you can build to meet the demand in the market. And you can observe lab demand in the new watchtower ticker located near the top of the realm map. Just like peripherals, labs have rarity levels, and the rarity levels correspond with the rarity level of the peripherals that you are producing. There are 2 lab rarity levels that are not yet available though, the mythic level, which will be called the foundry, and the exotic level, which will be called the nexus. Another way that labs are similar to peripherals is in the fact that they don't last forever. Your lab will lose a percentage of its lifespan every time it is used for crafting. And once the lifespan percentage hits 0, your lab will be burnt. Realm has also introduced new collectible production updates. For one, as your productivity score increases, you can now use it to produce additional collectibles. Also, the cost of particle increases as your productivity score increases. So you have to always be mindful of the balance between productivity and production costs. The new collectible production update also means that you can now mix and match your collectibles in a single collection transaction. Also, you no longer need to max collect because your production does not reset when you collect. Instead, you can bank the collection amounts and productivity scores. Additionally, ancient particle reactors now provide a flat 2x bonus to your collectible output. Like with many other things in Realm, there are limits to how many production collectibles you can produce for every productivity score. With a 0 productivity score, you can get 6 common production collectibles, 4 rare, 3 epic, and 2 legendary ones, 1 mythic, and 1 exotic. The highest productivity score that you can hit so far is 50,000. And with that, you can get 23 common production collectibles, 19 rare ones, 17 epics, 13 legendaries, 7 mythic, and 7 exotic ones. One more update for you before we call it a day here. Cities can now be built with nourishment collectibles. And with this update comes new city names and new city art. If you have any questions about the updates, make sure to leave them in the comments section below. Also, consider hitting the like button if you found this video helpful and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thanks for tuning in to the Future Money Guys. As always, be positive and be profitable. We'll see you guys in the next video.